it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I have my October 2019 Adornable Elements subscriptions to share with you guys today. So I recently changed it up. I've been doing these unboxings for a little over a year, so I've gone through the rotation of what I had been doing, which was their rotating beads of the month, where you cycle through all 6 of their clubs. You get a different one every month. You guys that have been around here for a while, you guys know the drill. But since I've already cycled through at least twice, maybe even 3 times at this point, I have been able to try them all and see what really speaks to me personally, which is what you guys all should do anyway for yourself. See what works for you. And what I decided was I was getting most excited about the Hot and Trendy Club and the 2-hole Beads of the Month Club. So I decided to drop the double rotating subscription and sign up for 2 single subscriptions. So I'm doing a single of each of those 2 that I mentioned. So the price of each of these single clubs is $22.95, and shipping with Adornable Elements in the US starts around $4.75. It's a little bit more for me now that I'm doing the 2 single clubs, but they do list all that information on their website, which I will of course leave a link for down below in the information section. And I do want to share the coupon code that they have set up for you guys, which is OPAL10, OPAL10, if you'd like to save 10% off your very first subscription in your first month. So we'll have twice as many beads to go through today as we usually do. Instead of 8 full-size containers, I'm going to have 16 half tubes, and I can't wait to see what's inside. So this is the mailer that these subscriptions come in, and I have 2 different packets here, and I have some information along with my invoice. I also have the Findings Companion Pack that they started doing just a few months ago, and I will share that after I share the beads. All right, so here are the 2 packages of beads that I had to go through. Every month, they do a great job coordinating these color schemes. So we have the Hot and Trendy, and it looks like the theme is Carnival. And the 2-hole Beads of the Month Club I received is called Unicorn Dreams. So if you sign up with that code that I listed, it will alert Adornable Elements that you are one of my viewers. You may be put on the same rotation, but you may not, just because I have recently switched it up. And I do want to let you guys know that the color selection could vary. So even if you are on the same rotation as me, it is possible that you wouldn't get the same exact color scheme, just depending on what their stock levels are at the time that you place your order. All right, so what should we start with? Let's start with Carnival, our Hot and Trendy Bead Club. So I'm going to flip this over, and that is beautiful, isn't it? I'm loving those metallics, and of course the purple and the green. What a great combination. So I'm going to pull out this list, and we will take a closer peek at everything one by one. Like I usually say, you can match up this code here with the code on the container to figure out what everything is. They give you the quantity as well as the retail price. You do save just a little bit over retail if you are buying these subscriptions, but the most important value for me personally is just the element of surprise and getting new shapes and colors to play with that I didn't personally pick out on my own. That helps me stretch my creativity. All right, so the first container I have to share with you guys is this one. These beads are called Crystal Magic Purple Spiky Buttons. And since I had been getting the double club, I've learned that they are deceptively large. Like, you get a lot of beads in terms of what you can actually make from these subscriptions. You think, oh, that's just a tiny container of beads, but they go such a long way. And I realized for me personally, I'd rather have more variety than a whole bunch of one particular type. But that is just me personally. Everybody needs to make the best decision for themselves because everybody is different. These are so much fun. They are a 1-hole bead. They are kind of diamond shaped. You can see the top drilled hole that is running through the top of that one diamond right there where I'm pointing. And the colors on these, the coating is so gorgeous. Look at all the different colors, purples, greens, golds, blues, and that's just on a part of the bead. Then you flip it over and you have kind of a translucent purple glass. So we're off to a great start. This is just the type of thing that I was hoping to get, a new to me shape in a fun color that inspires me to play around and come up with something new and different. The second container I have to share with you contains Crystal Magic Purple Gecko beads. So these are the same exact coating or color that those other spiky buttons are. And here is a close-up look at this shape. Once again, these are kind of a top drilled 1-hole bead. They are quite tiny and they are more of an elongated diamond. The other ones were more of a full diamond when you look at them face on. These are a little bit longer at the top and then have that peak right at the end. Next, we're changing up the color a little bit. We have this container which contains crystal bronze, copper, Arcos Puka beads. These are a lot of fun, and I just recently shared a necklace tutorial with some of these same type of beads. As you can see, these are actually 3-hole, and that color is awesome. It is a metallic, beautiful matte copper finish, and still a very nice handful of beads. Even though I'm getting the single containers now, I'm still very pleased with the amount that I'm getting. By the way, before I forget, when you are a member of one of the Adornable Elements clubs, you also have access to their patterns page, and I keep forgetting to mention that, I think, but you can access some of their free patterns that they share exclusively with their subscribers. Here's the next container, and this one contains the crystal bronze copper Octo beads, and these were in one of my recent necklace tutorials as well. You can see these have the same color and finish on them as the beads we just saw, that beautiful metallic copper coating on them, and they're just such nice quality. They're not chipped, the paint's not peeling off, the holes are drilled very well, and if you like Czech glass in particular, this is one of the subscriptions that I highly recommend, especially if you are pretty specific on the types of things that you're looking to get each month. I also mentioned they have 6 different clubs that you can subscribe to, including seed beads, Delicas, Swarovski crystals, fire polish beads, so if this one doesn't speak to you, definitely check out their site and see if there's something else that might be more relevant. All right, these are gorgeous. So our next container contains metallic suede purple beam beads. These are also 3-hole beads. So you got to be a little adventurous to get this particular subscription. You got to be willing to push yourself out of your comfort zone, or already very comfortable with working with all different shapes and kind of like the element of surprise. But isn't that such a gorgeous shade of purple? It is in the metallic suede finish that I love. It's not super shiny metallic, it's more of a matte. It's got a little bit of a texture on it. And again, great quality beads. Another fun 3-hole shape. And I like how all the colors are coming together here. That way, if you did want to combine some of these things, you kind of already have a color palette lined up for you. And then next, this container has some metallic suede purple prong beads. I've been into these lately. I just shared a brand new bracelet design with you guys in my last finished jewelry update, where I finally pulled these off my shelf and used them. So I will be doing a tutorial with these coming up in the next couple months, hopefully. These are the same beautiful purple metallic suede finish, such a rich color, and a good amount here in my hand. These prong beads always remind me of little doggy claws. I have a little Pomeranian at home, and they remind me of her little claws. All right, our 7th container in this collection contains gold shine olive cubes. So these are also in a metallic type finish, but it is more of a matte, not a super shiny glossy metallic. I love these colored metallics. They're so much fun. Here is a close-up look at these. You can see they are 1-hole beads, and they're in a beautiful emerald, very rich deep green color, and they really look similar to that metallic suede finish that's on the purple beads. And these are just pretty much a basic cube shape, but it's kind of cool to get these in this type of finish rather than just the faceted crystal cubes, which I have a lot of. And this adds another dimension of color to our color palette here. And then our 8th container for the Hot and Trendy Club of the month is this one, which contains Chrysolite Capri Gold Petals. Gorgeous. Now this tone of gold is more of a rose gold. It definitely goes pretty well with some of these copper tone beads down here below, just because of that more rosy color that it has. It's not an extremely yellow gold. And then look at the other side of these petals, how beautiful and rich that green shade is. So these will be fun to play with. If I do decide to do a beaded flower or something like that, you know, you can pick and choose which side that you want facing up, which is a nice feature of getting these 2-tone beads. So that is everything for the Hot and Trendy Beads of the Month Club that I personally received for October. And again, that is the single club. If you were in the double club, you would get the same kind of thing. You'd get 8 containers, but it would be twice as many beads as you see here. And those double clubs are closer to the $40 range. So I'm going to move these aside, and then we're going to get into our 2-hole Beads of the Month Club. So So here's that package and our list on the front in case you want to refer back to this for any reason. And by the way, Adornable Elements doesn't have a store at this point where you can go back and purchase more of these beads, but what is nice is you have the name and the color, and you can seek out more on your own by searching online, for example. Gorgeous. These even kind of coordinate with the other theme beside me. That's really cool. So again, we'll go through everything one by one. All right, this is the first container that is on our list. It says it contains crystal brass gold Moby duos. What a cool shape. I'm gonna let you see those close up as usual. So they're kind of a crescent shape. I would say kind of like a half oval. You can see the two holes running through the bead right there. And I love getting metallics because I think they're so versatile. They work so well in a variety of combinations with other colors of beads. And this is a gold, but it's not very toned down. It actually is a little bit more mustardy or brassy, as it is called brass gold. So maybe I could say it's kind of an antique gold. Either way, I think we're off to a good start there. And this is our next container. This one contains crystal brass gold post-par Puka beads. So these are in that same color and finish as the ones we just saw, but these are in yet another fun shape. So these are in kind of a chunky semicircle shape, and instead of the holes running through the side facing of the bead like the ones we just looked at, these are actually running up and down through the top and the bottom. Then our next container contains Chock-Full Apricot Super Duo. So some of you guys who have been around for a little while know that they used to have a Super Duo only subscription option. They actually did away with that, and they just decided to incorporate their Super Duos into their 2-hole Beads of the Month club. So you will see these popping up in their 2-hole Beads of the Month rotation. I can't tell you how beautiful I think this color is. We have a lot going on. So first of all, look how juicy and shiny they look. They are insanely glossy, and they're not a flat orange. There's different tones. There's burnt orange, more of a medium pumpkin orange, and then the lighter apricot, and I can't get enough of that finish on it. It makes these so eye-catching. And then next, I'm thrilled about these because I've been wanting some of these. These are the Chock-Full Apricot Chevron beads, and I love that they are in that same finish. It looks like we've got 3 things in the same color and finish. It's beautiful to see it on these even larger beads. As you can see, these are the chevron shape, and you can see why, and the 2 holes are running through the beads right there parallel, and there's that gorgeous AB finish that makes it look so glossy and gives these beads such a beautiful luster and really brings out the different tones of orange in such a beautiful way. Here is the third in that same color. These look like little corn kernels to me. These are called Chock-Full Apricot Nibbits. I love nibbit beads. I've actually used these quite a bit, and I'm just happy to get another color to add to my collection. So here are our little corn kernels, nibbit beads, and you can see that they are in that same lustery AB orange color, and I love the little bits of cream that are popping through on the side there where these holes are. And you can see the nibbit beads are kind of a triangular shape, except that at the top, instead of being very pointed, they have a little bit more of a blunt end. And then next we're getting into our purples. We have the Pastel Bordeaux Pyramid Hex beads. These are pretty big, and so there's only 5 of these in this container, and like I mentioned, if you got the double club, you would have gotten 10. You would have gotten twice as many. These are such an interesting shape and really make a statement with that bold, rich plum tone. Here is a look at where the holes are. So they run right across the bead there, and these have 6 sides on them and then come to a point at the top, kind of like a little stud. And even though there's only 5 in here, that would be enough to make a bracelet, just as an example, depending on what else you use around these beads. All right, the 7th container in this collection contains Pastel Bordeaux candy beads in 8mm. We have the same rich purple tone, this time in these cute little rounded candy beads. And here's a look at the whole situation on these, just running parallel straight through the base of these little rounds. And then our final container in this collection contains Pastel Bordeaux honeycomb beads, another fun hexagon type shape. There's 30 pieces in this container, and there is a close-up look at these. You can see why these are called honeycomb beads. You put them together and they do look like a little honeycomb, and there is a look at where the 2 holes are on these. I don't think I've personally made anything with the honeycombs yet, but I am starting to get more of these in my stash, in my collection, so I will have to pull these out and play around with them one of these days. Alright, so that was everything in the Unicorn Dreams 2-Hole Beads of the Month Club, the single version, and let's get into our Findings Companion Pack. So finally, this is an add-on that they just started doing. It is $12.95 a month. For anyone who is currently subscribed to Adornable Elements, one of their clubs, you can request to have one of these added on to your club with no additional shipping charge. And it looks like we're going to get some gold tone findings this time. So every month they've been switching it up. We've gotten some gunmetal, we got rhodium plated, we even got copper last month. Now we're seeing gold, so I do like how they're rotating it. It is a really great way to bulk up your collection of findings without having to put much thought into it. And they have been working very hard to make sure they're only bringing very high quality findings to the mix. As you know, Adornable Elements clubs are full of very high quality beads, nothing junky or cheap, so they wanted their Findings Companion Pack to match that feeling, and they've done a great job in my opinion so far. We've gotten some brand name higher end things, and it looks like we've got some symbol findings included with this pack, which is great. So it looks like first we have some bead endings, and these are 24 karat gold plated. There's 2 of those, and there's 2 magnetic clasps, and there's also 2 other bead endings here as well. So these in particular, these symbol bead endings, are great for your various shapes of Czech glass beads. Like these, for example, fit great with like your diamond duos. You can see how the pointed bead would fit right in there, and then the end of the bracelet or whatever it is you're making would look seamless. So we have several choices for bead ends. We also have our 2 magnetic clasps here, and the magnets do seem very strong. In fact, they're jumping all over everything I have here and want to attach themselves to everything. Look at that. So very pleased to get some of these things. I've actually been eyeing these bead ends for a while and I just hadn't picked any up. They've also included 12 coordinating gold-plated jump rings. We have 4 ear wires here, which look very pretty and interesting. Those are so beautiful. They look so much higher end than the cheaper ones you see all the time with the little spring and the ball. These are something you definitely want to use on something special. And I like the fact that they included 4 of those, so you could make 2 pairs of earrings. And they included a bag of chain. So this is a stainless gold-plated chain in a 4x5 millimeter, and it contains 18 inches. This is very shiny, and the coating feels very smooth on it and coordinates beautifully with our other findings here. I always find that chain is so handy to have, and I go through it pretty fast. So that was a little marathon, but that was 16 containers of very fun high-end Czech glass beads, switching it up from my norm and going with the 2-Hole Beads of the Month Club and the Hot and Trendy Beads of the Month Club, and I am so happy with that decision. Beads should make you happy, and you should do what speaks to you when it comes to subscription boxes. So just use my videos as a guide to kind of help you determine what kinds of things you can find in each subscription. I know it can be overwhelming with all the different options that are out there. And like I've said before, Adornable Elements customer service is fantastic. It's one of the best. So if you're currently getting a subscription through them, maybe you want to switch it up, feel free to send them an email. They do respond very quickly. They also have a phone number listed on their site if you'd rather handle your business over the phone. I think they knocked it out of the park again with their color schemes and their curation of both of these clubs. I got no repeats in shapes in both of these, not saying that won't ever happen because there could be some crossover with these 2 in particular. I think it's a great way to add a lot of fun new shapes and colors to your collection all at once and really push you out of your comfort zone. So if you're a person that kind of operates that way and you like getting those types of surprises in the mail to maybe lead you in a new direction creatively, I can't recommend Adornable Elements enough. So I hope this video was helpful for you, getting a close-up look at everything I received. And like I always say, I'm not here to sell you a box. I'm just here to help you make an informed decision for yourself and provide you with as much information and insight as I have from my personal experience. So feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you are one of their subscribers, if you've been enjoying their clubs, what you think of my switch to these 2 new single clubs, or anything else you'd like to say. I do really sincerely appreciate you being here for another unboxing. I know I do so many of these, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy them as much as I do. So stick around with me for much, much more. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching.